Welcome to another Y107 MU Healthcare Ask the Expert podcast. As we get into the summer months, more activities, more biking and hiking and jogging and sports and out there on our feet, more vacations, and you're walking all over the Grand Canyon or museums, wherever you're going. We have got podiatrist, MU Healthcare Podiatrist Kyle Fiala here with us to talk about feet and ankles specifically. Let's go with this, Doc. Let's talk about shoes. Those are pretty important when it comes to the health of your feet and ankles. I think we all look at style first, but there's a lot more to them than that, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Shoes are very, very important. All you have to do is kind of do a quick internet search of a picture of a foot into a high-heeled shoe or a very tight constrictive shoe to get a kind of a view of how that's not great overall for your foot health. The shoes are the first thing that our body and our feet come in contact with the ground. So they provide a lot of support, a lot of stability, a lot of protection. And a lot of foot and ankle problems can be solved relatively pretty simply by just changing your shoes and looking at something that's a little bit more supportive.
Or not wearing the same ones for 9 years. Let those old sneakers be your lawn mowing shoes or your yard work shoes. So we go from shoes to flip-flops, especially here in the summer. But those also can be a big problem for your feet and ankles and on up your legs.
Yeah, they can be. And I always tell patients moderation is key. So not all flip-flops are bad. You don't want to wear them every day. It's the same thing like going barefoot. A lot of our patients really love to go barefoot in the summer, and that can cause a lot of problems. More companies now are designing and making more supportive flip-flops. So again, not all flip-flops are created equal. If you don't have any foot pain, you're not having any issues, certainly they're fine. But if you are experiencing some issues, then you might look at changing that up, maybe not wearing them as much or looking for a more supportive.
Plus, you got to be really careful. If they're older and get worn, they are slick. I mean, it's like stepping on a sheet of ice.
Yeah, they can be.
If you get on the wrong pool deck or wet driveway or something.
Yep, absolutely.
Then you're coming in for much worse than foot issue, I think, depending on how you land. But if you are having some foot and ankle problems, don't ignore the pain. Call MU Healthcare's Missouri Orthopedic Institute, 573-882-BONE. That's 882-BONE. As we are with MU Healthcare Podiatrist Kyle Fiala here on this Ask the Expert podcast, talking about your feet and ankles and your health of your feet and ankles this summer. What are some of the most common foot problems you see at the hospital over the summer?
We see quite a bit. So overuse injuries are really pretty common. So plantar fasciitis or Achilles tendonitis. That's kind of an inflammation of some of the tendons or ligaments in the foot from people just being very active and they kind of overdo it. We see a lot of sprains and breaks and fractures. We talked about it earlier. You're running, it's raining, or there's a little pothole somewhere and you trip and fall. So we see a lot of injuries like that. And then we also see a fair amount of lawnmower or chainsaw injuries where patients are out doing some work and they're not really wearing shoes or not the great shoes, and they can have a pretty significant injury from that.
Yikes. Yeah, I didn't even, for sure, if you're doing that kind of stuff, never mind shoes, like get some boots on or something, but it's hot, right? That's what's worse, being a little hot and sweaty feet, or now you're talking about potentially losing some toes.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you know when maybe you should go see you guys and go see a doctor instead of it just being, it's sore, it'll be fine?
Yeah, a lot of the symptoms usually will resolve over time, but if you talk to your primary care physician and they feel like it's a good idea to get referred over, that's a good sign or good time. If symptoms or problems really do not improve after a few days or they worsen pretty quickly, usually that's a good recommendation to maybe reach out and get an appointment. If you can't walk or put pressure on the foot, that's another reason to go and see us. And then if there's obvious like a deformity or an open injury or something more serious, then I'd recommend urgent care, ER, or something like that.
Something pretty quick and emergent. Yeah, if you're trying to, if it's still lingering after a couple of days, don't continue to walk on it. Get some help. You can find out more on how to take care of your feet and ankles this summer. MU Healthcare and Missouri Orthopedic Institute. Call them 573-882-BONE, 882-BONE. Our Ask the Expert on this podcast with Y107 and MU Healthcare Podiatrist Kyle Fiala as we talk again more about your ankles and feet. Why choose MU Healthcare and Missouri Orthopedic Institute? Why are you guys the best at what you do?
Well, everybody here, we're really lucky. We have a world-class facility. It's the largest freestanding orthopedic center in kind of mid-Missouri. We have a world-class array of physicians and surgeons available to help through all spectrums of the musculoskeletal system. It's kind of a one-stop shop. So really, we have everything that you would ever need, and we can collaborate with all of the resources available at the university. And then with our foot and ankle service line, we have always kind of tried to live by the golden rule and try to treat patients the way I would want to be treated or a family member would want to be treated.
Yeah, your feet and ankles, man, they're getting beat up on all the time. You're using them constantly, working out, playing, whatever it is. Don't let something nagging just continue to cause you pain and suffer all summer, and then that leads to more injuries, and you really miss out on some life and some fun this summer. So don't hesitate. Get a hold of the doctors, and again, obviously, if it's an emergency situation, call 911 or get to urgent care, and rather than wait on that, correct?
Correct.
Well, be safe this summer. Kyle, thank you for your time this morning. We really appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks, Cosmo.
All right. Find out more. Again, MU Healthcare and Missouri Orthopedic Institute. Call 573-882-BONE. That's 573-882-BONE.